One of the most positive things we can do is to take a course of some kind, maybe studying for an academic or professional qualification or acquiring new skills. Perhaps a shorter course to help us in a specific aspect of our lives, such as personal development, keep fit, diving deeper into our faith or philosophy. This short film looks at useful techniques that we may want to consider trying before the course begins to enhance the value of the time spent and the benefit gained both now and for the longer term. First, it is important to identify the aims of the course. These can be at different levels. At one level, the aims of a course are easy to identify. Intermediary French, gentle yoga, an introduction to calculus. Each course will have objectives and benefits clearly labelled. But there is also a second layer unique to us. These could be anything. Preparing for a career opportunity, exploring a lifetime interest, filling gaps in our knowledge, developing self-confidence, fulfilling a spiritual or physical need, healing, looking better, exploring new possibilities, combating loneliness, keeping the intellect sharp, developing creativity, pleasure, intellectual curiosity, a step in a healing journey, fun. Before we enroll, it is useful to identify, where possible, our motives, both on the surface and for you personally. This means that you must dig deep. Of course, it would be nice to take uh, a series of courses on Renaissance art, but why am I really studying this? Perhaps because the art of that period speaks to me in a deep way that I don't really understand, but which I recognize. It fulfills a need within me. It's useful to write down why you are taking a course, because halfway through, after the initial excitement of starting something new, it will get hard. And having something to remind you why you are putting yourself through this will encourage you to hang on in. Secondly, we need to try to identify the outcomes of the course, say an academic credit, which will enable me to study at a more advanced level, or perhaps increase self-confidence. No more than 5 outcomes are best. Write them down. Whittle them to the essential key words. Stick them on the wall in your bedroom or in your notebook where you can refer to them. How does the course translate for you in its aims? How far do you want to go? For example, if you do a writing course, do you want to be a best-selling novelist or write tighter prose? Then do some hard evaluation. Thirdly, identify where you are now. Be as honest as you can. Try to put a number on where you are. For example, if part of the reason for taking a course is to develop your self-confidence, on a scale from 1 to 10, you may mark your initial position as a 2. Some things are easier to measure than others. A classic way to look at it is with qualitative assessments, which are often subjective, and quantitative measures for which you can get accurate data, say waist size or average scores in chess. You may feel reluctant to do this. Wordsworth's famous line from his poem, The Tables Turned, speaks of the meddling intellect and that we murder to dissect, meaning that sometimes too much analysis of something destroys what we value in it. A walk in the countryside can teach us more than any books. a romantic ideal, but with much wisdom. Wordsworth writes, "Sweet is the law which nature brings. Our meddling intellect misshapes the beauteous forms of things. We murder to dissect." Yet, there is also the truth in that often what we don't measure, we don't value. Of course, there are many aspects of our lives that are beyond measurement, like love, for example. Can't put a number on that. But if you're embarking on a study of algebra, maybe an initial score of your current position can give you a clear idea. It's your starting point. Track it as you go along. Often, when we take a course, particularly in things like personal development, where the outcomes are not immediately clear to us, we miss the progress we are making. We are so up and close to the process we are in that we just miss how well or badly we're doing. Devising some kind of assessment can encourage us or show us what we need to refocus or recommit to. Having an idea of what we want to realistically achieve is useful to avoid disappointment or disillusionment. Unrealistic expectations can be demotivating as well, particularly when the results are not what we expect. For example, starting a course in yoga, I would score my current level of subtleness at 2, with a possibility of reaching 4 after a year. If I set anything higher, it would be unrealistic. I'm in my 60s and will never make a 10 like a gymnast. What should these measurements be? I can't tell you, and I know it's a little abstract, but it's something you need to work out for yourself in the unique set of circumstances you are in. It may be obvious to you, or it may take time to work out a fiendishly clever way of assessing where you are. Teachers like midterm exams. That doesn't work for many of us. For example, if you are taking a course in Impressionist paintings, and one of your motivations is to enable the healing abilities of study to help you in the process of bereavement, then it doesn't really benefit you to know that you get a B in the last essay. But maybe you're sleeping better, or you're not crying as much. Everything is unique and personal. Maybe you feel like going out. There is no right or wrong method. We don't just take a course and then it's over and we move on. We need to be conscious, alert, and awake. How long will this take? For some people, it will be a simple, obvious process to follow through. A 10-minute quick review. You may think, what a waste of time stating the obvious. This is obvious. But for others, it is complicated and not obvious at all. And it's well worth starting with as clear a mind as possible and a means of seeing if the activity you are involved in is working for you. The analogy of a sparkler is a good one. When we first light it, the sparkler may feel dangerous and exciting. It occupies us. It demands our attention. But in a short time, the sparkler fizzles out and we're just awkwardly holding something with no real value. By preparing for a course in a few simple ways, maybe we can keep the sparkler not just burning for longer, but perhaps never going out, because we're consciously aware of the change it has brought about in our lives. And who knows in the future where that could lead.